Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. All right, hey, we're live. Cool. I'm happy to have you joining me today. We have a very fun matchup scheduled. I'll go back to the beginning of this. Ahem. I made a couple of changes to my general setup, which doesn't affect your viewing experience, except that I think it's better now. I made two changes, or I made one and I tried to make another. The first is that I'm now speaking through NVIDIA Broadcast, which means hopefully you should hear less of a podcasty like hiss and background noise behind my speech, and I tried to, or rather, it should get rid of all the like distracting noises. Like you shouldn't hear my clothes rustling around on my body, which was like not really exactly what I wanted to do. Okay, so for now, we have what we're looking forward to today. What we're going to be viewing today is a classic Guilty Gear matchup, Chipp versus Slayer. I think we all love this matchup. I think we all love watching Chipp get counter hit by Pile Bunker and die. And this is a first to 10 between right, Chappu and Noren. Chappu being the Chipp player, or just Chap, and then Noren being the Slayer player. So, Slayer player. So, okay, I'm just double checking everything. The reason I'm double checking everything is because I'm rather paranoid. I'm rather paranoid about how the audio is coming across, because I tried to experiment with sending with setting up a chat replay or a chat overlay, and I did not realize this, but it's extraordinarily weird and extraordinarily convoluted and complicated. Okay, so immediately something happens. Sorry, I'm just going to do one thing. Okay, so yeah, well, I mean, I guess that's what I get for not having the stream set up for like 10 minutes beforehand to let people know that it exists. Although I did make a community post, so whatever. And all of my 0 followers on my social media account for this channel have definitely notified. Okay, anyway, so the way this matchup tends to go, and you can see it here, is that Chipp basically acts like your typical Pixie character, and he tries to be safe, and then Slayer tries to send out some big button and kill him. One advantage that Chipp does have in this matchup is that he has a couple of really large, really safe ways to control the screen, and this is Gamma Blade, which is one of them. And here's a little fun thing about Gamma Blade. Because of the way that, sorry, I said Gamma Blade? Yeah, Gamma Blade. Beta Blade is the uppercut, Alpha Blade is the dash. Because it puts your opponent in this sort of capture state, weird things happen when your opponent is bursting or like buffers into a burst. Because you can see, here's Chipp doing close slash. Here's the first active frame, close slash, it's whiffing through Slayer. That's because as soon as Slayer gets counter hit here, or as soon as he gets whiff punished by Gamma Blade, he inputs a burst. But bursts don't come out until hit stop ends, and I guess the way that the capture on Gamma Blade is coded, it doesn't count as like regular hits. It doesn't like lock out your burst in the same way like a grab does. So that means that Chipp can run up, whiff close slash through your body, because the burst invincibility kicks in before the burst actually is expended, and he can visually confirm that his attack whiffed through you and block the burst. So it's just this random thing that looks to be burst safe, even though it like, or that is burst safe, even though it doesn't necessarily look like it. I should also point out, as far as Chipp goes for damage, he's generally a pretty low damage character. However, he does have access to some fairly practical routes involving, so here's 6H and here's jump cancel. You're going to see like one frame. No frames of jump startup. So that's 6H into a jump cancel, into a blitz. And this is actually a pretty relevant high damage route for Chipp. And he's like one of the only characters who can actually do that. Like very practically off of a lot of different starters. So he does have some ways to exchange meter for damage, but Slayer is a lot more obvious about doing that. I should also point out that both these characters tend to build a ton of meter, but Slayer's meter gain is significantly higher because he can whiff Dandy Step under pressure. You can see he's just doing it here, and it's like 2 or 3 of those builds like almost half a bar, which is huge in this game. And then his attention pulse went high, so now he ate a combo from Chipp, barely took any damage, and now he has a bar. Chipp built less meter from doing that combo than Slayer did from getting hit by it. Like, just look at this. So Chipp's backing up, does FD, does one special move, does FD again, and then he gets the hit. And Slayer is... So Slayer is at like 3/4 of a bar here, and Chipp is at like 10% of a bar. And Chipp builds like half a bar, and Slayer... Okay, well, Slayer builds about a quarter, so Chipp does build more meter. But because he was playing defensively at the start, he had less meter in total. The risk-reward in this matchup is really, really heavily skewed in Slayer's favor. Yeah, see? And that, yeah, okay. Makes sense. And you can kill here as Chipp. Okay, no. He was trying to... Okay, that was a missed input. This 6K, he was trying to do the, I forget the name of it, the multi-hit punch super, which requires a K input for some fucking reason. Anyway, whatever. It's a scramble. Chipp wins. Perfect. Chappu making this, or Chap making this matchup look almost kind of manageable for Chipp. And it is. It's the kind of matchup that's very manageable for Chipp, provided that you simply do not make any mistakes. Problem is, people make mistakes. And when Slayer makes mistakes, he gets to keep being an idiot and doing dumb stuff. And when Chipp makes mistakes, he dies. I should also point out that Noren is not a Slayer who is inexperienced in the matchup. That's 37,000 games played on that arcade card alone. The dude has been grinding the game for a long time. Yeah. And that's like another thing, like Chipp has Rekkas and stuff. He got a counter hit with that Rekka. No reward. Like his reward is that he gets to send out plus frames and like be safe. There you saw Chipp YRC a projectile, normally a terrifying thing in this game, and he just decides to back off because Slayer is just in Dandy Step and he doesn't want to deal with it. And this is what happens when you block Slayer. You're sort of in like the infinite block string. Yeah. Oh, he backdashed it. Nice. Yeah, so if you're coming from Strive, Slayer works very differently in this game in that there is... You have to manually time the follow-ups from Dandy Step if you want them to be like true unfuzzyable high-low left-rights. Oh god. Also, he gets to do this off of one of his wake-up supers. Oh god. You're actually just dead. Like, you're actually... Holy shit, you're actually just dead. Oh my god. Okay. So, Slayer has 2 ways to challenge shit on wake up. The first is backdash canceling, which requires you to manually time a backdash input, and then jump cancel the backdash, and then cancel your jump startup into a special move. You can read about that on Dust Loop. It's a long-standing bug. Feature, sorry. It's a long-standing feature. Anyway, the other thing he can do, which is significantly less execution intensive, is that he can do Eternal Wings, which is just a 236 S motion. And Eternal Wings is a launcher and combo extender, but it's also invincible on Wake Up because he needs it. And it does this to Chipp. Important thing to note, it's not showing my mouse, so whatever, but you can see Chipp took damage and now he is below the 50% health threshold, which means that that big hit of damage he took was not affected by guts. So that was like basically pure unscaled damage. And then because combo scaling or combo damage scaling in Guilty Gear is based off of only the number of hits, like the literal number of hits in the hit counter, Slayer's going to do 6H, which does a lot of damage, into Pile Bunker, which does a lot of damage, into another 6H, into RC, into Pile Bunker, and then that does stun. And then technically if I think Noren's kind of a vibe Slayer. I think he could have done something that was slightly more optimal here. Because... Oh no, pardon me, sorry, he didn't have the meter. I was thinking he could have done like walk up and then do a partial charge blitz to drain the burst from Chipp. But no, he didn't have the meter at that time. So let's look at that whole thing in hindsight, and let's appreciate that this is what happens to you as Chipp, when you try to do a projectile YRC and Slayer is mashing super on wake up. Oh, he also gets bonus damage from Hellfire because you can see Slayer's life bar was flashing. That means his supers do a bit more damage. That's one of Exerd's most meaningless. Honestly, it's a pretty meaningless system mechanic. Oh yeah, they're Gamma Blade. Just send Gamma Blade. Gamma Blade is like the great equalizer. Either you ignore Gamma Blade completely, or you just get hit by Gamma Blade. And if you trade with Chipp, it still counts. It still hits because it's a projectile and it just applies the effect on hit normally. Anyway, that's like the basic Slayer blender you saw from Noren there. When you knock somebody down, it's either whiff Dandy Step and go into the under pressure, it's late mix, or you like cross up behind them, which is like slightly more fake but harder to deal with. Rather, it's slightly easier to jump out of, but it's harder to visually see what's happening. I should also point out, this is what a backdash cancel looks like. Noren gets knocked down here. Yeah. And then he backdash cancels into Mappa Hunch. However, Chipp 5P is fast enough that it hits before or hits after the iframes on backdash Mappa run out. Because backdash Mappa is not, or it's slow enough that it isn't going to work as a true invincible reversal. So those were 2 rounds where Chipp could have easily, or Chappu could have easily lost everything off of like a couple big hits. And that's basically how the matchup goes, right? So Noren is, like, he's not bad. Like, he's played the game way more than I have, but I've seen him play a lot on the Honkan SSL, or Sega Sportsland channel. You can find a link to that channel in the description, by the way, and you should go subscribe to it. And I think he just plays more by vibes rather than just doing the optimal thing. Whereas there are other Slayers like Demendo, who play more like normal control Slayer. Like they use Slayer's normals to control people. Demendo would not just walk up at somebody like Noren did a moment ago. Oh, that's beautiful. I love seeing, man, I fucking love jump cancel combos like that. I wish Air Dashers still had cool shit like that in them. I wish Strive... God, I'm not going to start talking about Strive. I could start another live stream for just ranting about all of the shit that I hate about Strive. And have the effect that it's had on games. Anyway, Chipp has an invincible DP. It's important to do that at least a little bit. It's not throw invincible, so if Slayer's doing shit like that where he walks up to you, it may not work, because you can throw OS in this game. However, it's pretty nice when Slayer is just rotating through plus frames and like distance trapping you and shit like that. Yeah, and that's another thing about Chipp in this game, which I think is really cool, is that his ideal combos tend to take you out of the corner like this. Oh no, he puts you in the corner. So back in earlier versions of Revelator, all of Chipp's combos put you in the corner, and then once he had you in the corner like that, I believe he literally had like a set play blender or a vortex that had like 12 different options in terms of like timing and distance and cross-ups. Because there's a weird thing where when Chipp is clinging onto the wall, the game actually sets his position like slightly outside of the bounds of the screen, so he can actually cross you up and corner steal in a way that generally Guilty Gear characters can't. So that, plus all the stuff he was doing, made it very difficult to defend against. So in Rev 2, I think it was Rev 2 or Rev 2.1, I think it was actually Rev 2, they changed it such that his combos tend to take you out of the corner, so he has to run mid-screen mix a lot more. Speaking of running mix, this is another fun thing about Chipp, Alpha Blade YRC. I think you go across the entire screen in like 4 frames or something. It's really funny. Anyway, Noren survives the Chipp onslaught of pixie character BS and manages to clutch out that round. Oh, hi Yamashigam. Good to see you. Wall Alpha used to push you the opposite direction. Yes, that was the big change they made that affected his corner combo structure. You would do Wall Alpha and it would hit your opponent. So you'd be going out from the wall and your opponent would be going into the wall. Yeah, but now it just sends you in the same direction as Chipp. I appreciate you being here. And I appreciate you sending a chat message, because I was getting a little bit of paranoia that even though things looked perfect on my end, there was going to be some issue. I was trying to, well, I won't go into detail, but I was trying to set up a chat overlay, which should be the simplest thing in the world, but which is apparently like horribly difficult and really inconsistent and really annoying, which requires you to... YouTube didn't notify me you were live. It was a bit messy. I mean, also, well, actually, no, fuck it. It's YouTube's fault. It's all YouTube's fault. Oh, yeah, gamma counter hit. Oh, he missed his dash input. Oh, wait, no, actually, that was 2S. That was weird. Whatever. Point is, streaming is very simple in some ways, but, like, some features are way more complicated than they ought to be. Apparently, it's much easier to have a chat overlay on Twitch than it is on YouTube. Sorry, this run-up throw, Chappu's insane for that. Holy shit, bro. Noren a little bit less insane for the wake-up throw. That's pretty standard, especially as Slayer. Yeah, kunai, ha, kunai. I love Chipp like calling all of his attacks like a fucking Naruto character. Oh. Oh, that's another cool thing. That's another thing they removed from Strive. I covered this in my Faust video, actually, but Chipp having an air brake FDC like this is so cool. Like, I love high movement stuff like this. It's a shame that like just nobody puts shit like that in fighting games, and they barely ever did in the first place. Oh. Oh. Yeah, you blocked Helter Skelter, which means, and you FD'd it too, which means Slayer is plus a bajillion directly at head height, so he gets a... yeah, just you have to block, but he tried to mash, just because he felt like he had to mash, and then he died. So, yeah, I'm trying to remember how Slayer's moves work in Strive. They gave him a regular... So he has, like, the short dandy step backwards, but he also has the dandy step forwards, and then he has... What is it? It's Master's Hammer, which is the evolution of Helter Skelter in this game. But then he's also got, like, Under Pressure. I forget if he has It's Late or if... I think they just gave him a low option, so he's got, like, a mid option, a low option, and then the overhead option, Master's Hammer. So they basically condensed the manual work you have to do in order to frame trap people and condition them in this game into a pure mix between high and low. By the way, Yamashigam, is it Yamashigam or is it Yamash GM? Yeah, there it is. That's super plus. It's plus 11, I think, and then if you have that's like another 4-ish frames. Like it's just impossible to challenge after that, even though it looks like you might be able to. It's just an amalgamation of letters from my name. Fair enough. Well, I have fun saying Yamashugam, so that's what I'm going to keep saying. Oh god. No! You could have what are you doing? No! Okay, so Slayer, I'm pretty sure Slayer can stun here, but Noren is a vibes Slayer, so he's not doing the optimal combo, I think. Like, I'm positive you can do Eternal Wings after doing 6H air counter hit crosswise heal. You could absolutely do that. You could absolutely do that. Or, like, dot or something. But then, yeah, see, and that's, like, the frustrating thing, because he gets this, so he gets this big counter hit, right, and he doesn't do anything with it. And then he RPSs afterwards, and he gets the hit, and spends RC, and then he just spends RC just so he can burst bait. The, under pressure here, which is the upwards swipe, is burst safe if you don't do any follow-ups. Oh, God. Yeah, there you go. Okay, yeah, kill him. There we go, cool. Most people would cheer for Chipp in this matchup. I hate both of these characters. They're both miserable matchups for Raven. Oh, good lord. So, frankly, I'm just happy to see bloodshed on either side, really. Wake up forward dash into hidden leaf grab. That's crazy. Yeah, throw tech? Should be worth noting that both of these characters have ways to move around the screen that are really messed up with YRC. But because the meter gain penalty that you get from YRC is 6 seconds, both of them would prefer to navigate the screen honestly and just save the meter for conversions or knockdowns or stuff like this. Oh, there's a black beat actually? Okay, yeah, Noren is definitely not the... Oh? Yeah, there we go. That was sick. Okay, double black beat, but that's fine. If he's not mashing, it's real. Oh my god, I caught you live. Hi, Big Dog, Big Bear. Good to see you. I'm sorry, I think I missed something sweet while I was looking at your name, dear chatter. Oh my. I was trying to... I don't know what Chappu was trying to do there. Alpha is punishable if you instant block it. The thing is, Chipp has Alpha Plus, which is the, like, L he does afterwards. And that is, like, plus 2-ish, which usually means it's safe, because it's usually spaced. However, point blank like that, you can instant block and mash throw, and things are generally pretty good. But anyway, yeah, you did catch me live. Good to have you with us. That's another thing. That exact interaction happened earlier, where Chipp gets the knockdown and he does this, which is FTC, and it's an ambiguous cross-up. So that encourages you to do standing blitz, which Noren did, and then Chappu knows that, so he just goes for empty throw, or like whiff jump H throw. Chipp's vortex is like actually quite schnasty if you're capable of inputting it consistently and confirming everything into a knockdown. Yeah, there you go. Active frames on that. Kill him. You can't kill from this combo, yeah, so he just takes the knockdown OTG. Oh, bonsai. Get opened up overhead, dumbass. Yeah, there we go. Cool. And technically, he could have done regular, like the wall alpha into like a micro dash, but he just wanted to spend the meter to stabilize the combo, which is cool. Yeah, like that. Oh, he doesn't go for it. I guess Slayer was too low. Slayer's a bit heavy. He's not a heavyweight, but he's like one of the heavier middleweights. And his hurtbox can sometimes be kind of weird in this game. What the fuck happened with this? What does he do here? What the fuck? Okay. So Chap gets hit and he mashes S, which gets him far slash, and... Oh, Slayer's doing dandy step into Helter Skelter. Okay, makes sense. I love that the move is called Helter Skelter, by the way. It's fun, like, it's awesome. Of all the things that I could bitch about Strive for, having like lame moves names is definitely... It's not high on the list, but it is on the list. Big Dog, Big Bear. I played a lot of Strive Chipp, and this version of Chipp has so much sauce. Yeah, it's true. It's very, like, classic fighting game design, where you just give the character a ton of options and make them all, like, highly conditional, and leave it up to the player to find stuff. It's one of the things that makes me not hate losing to Chipp, even though I play it, like, the Raven matchup is, like, one of Chipp's best matchups, I think. Like, I genuinely think that might be like a 7-3 matchup for Chipp, and I'm like the 3 because I play Raven. But, like, it requires a lot of stuff from the Chipp, and it's fun because you get to see a lot of different things. And I think Chipp is a really solidly implemented character in this game because he's constantly putting you in slightly different mix-up situations that require him to do slightly different mix-ups in order to hit you meaty and keep it stable. And if you get hit by, like, Jump D or something, like, it's... I might not be this composed in the moment, but, like, it's usually your own fault. Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you mashing and stuff, you know? It's just Chipp. Just block the mix-up, bro. Just block the mix. You have, like, 6 chances to block the mix. It's fine. Teleport, stay in place, so you could have fuzzy jumped there. That is one thing I really don't like about... That's one thing I find awesome about games, which is when you can like do feint option. Holy shit, that was such a hang on. One thing I love about games is when you can do like feint options and like intentionally whiff buttons to make it look like you're minus, and then like what Chipp did with 6K there. So this is okay. So this is the Maximilian Super. Don't ask me why we call it that. I don't think we call it that anymore. But that's the Maximilian Super, and that's Guts Crush. That's like 15 hits of daggers, and it wall bounces, or sorry, ground bounces. Doesn't put you in OTG state. So Chipp gets the standard stuff here. He does close S5H, and he does IAD re-jump or like re-land combos. That's sick. I love that shit, dude. And he tries to go Guts Crush. But it's like one hit too short, and Slayer techs into straight down Dandy. He still has 50 meter. Chipp could actually die here. I just want you to understand, Chipp could actually literally just die. Oh no, Slayer jump S. Such a weird move. Okay, there we go. Hey, by the way, I hate to do this, but if you're in the chat and you don't mind, please send a message, because according to my analytics, I have 7 concurrent viewers, which is the highest I've ever had. Whoa, 7 viewers. There we go. Oni waves hello. Joe Mama says I'm here. Okay, cool. All right, so there are a few people. I'm never entirely... Oh, and Dirt says hello. Okay, cool. Good to see some fresh names. I'm never entirely sure how honest any of these numbers actually is. Oh, it's so tough in this game. Okay, sorry, I was minorly distracted there by the internet numbers, but... No, go back. So this is like textbook example of why this game is hard, and I talked about this in the combo difficulty tier list. Chipp does something. He sends out Gamma Blade YRC, which is super active, covers all of the stuff that Slayer wants to do. However, because Slayer is a monkey, Slayer gets to do backdash cancel jump and completely ignore all of it, instead of having to even remotely consider dealing with a mix. However, he did not FD on his way up in the jump, so Chipp gets air unblockable close slash. However, he was autopiloting, and he did not recognize that Slayer was doing BDC jump. He probably thought he was doing BDC something else. Because the last time we saw BDC, I think it was Mappa. So 5H whiffs underneath Slayer, and I believe that Chipp 2H would have connected here. So Slayer gets to attack out. Somehow, this jump D from Slayer does not hit Chipp during the start of his 2H. This is classic Guilty Gear hitbox shit. I don't know how these are going past each other. Chipp gets 2H, but he doesn't confirm into air teleport. But it's okay because Noren just doesn't tech. And you can see Chappu is just desperately trying to move away. But fun fact, Chipp actually has one of the longest backdash durations in the game. It's 21 frames, I believe. It's the same as Raven, and Raven's is 9 invincible, 12 recovery, which is 21 frames total. And I believe Chipp's is something like, it's 21 frames total, but it's like 10 frames or whatever. Actually, no, I think it's the same. It's 9 invincible, 12 recovery, but he moves backwards like 2 character lengths more than Raven does. However, it's a long commitment, and that's kind of awkward against a character, a legacy Guilty Gear character like Slayer, who can just churn out moves. Oh god, yeah, Gamma trade, see? Even though, like, normal hit, like, if Chipp had traded with, like, Far Slash or something there, and Slayer just sends 6H, look at this. Any move except Gamma trade, the round is over. Slayer just, like, RCs and does, like, burst dot, and you just die. Oh. Super YRC. God, I love this game. It's so stupid. You can kill here. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, this is what he was trying to do earlier. It's funny, like, Chipp has, like, 3 supers. He's got the punch super. I don't even remember what it's called. He's got... Oh, he's got the Maximilian Ninja Dagger super, and then he's got... Zansei Ryoga, which is the higher damage one that doesn't Guts Crush quite as much. But he's basically an expert in Guts Crush combos. It's like kind of what he specializes in, which is really cool. Although we're making pretty good time on this. Yeah, we got... Okay, we're like 20 minutes in. We got probably another 25 minutes. It's been pretty even so far. I was expecting one of these guys to run away with it, but then the matchup is... It's both volatile. It's volatile enough such that both characters are getting chances to do stupid shit. Yeah, there we are. Yeah. See, that was a beautiful little organic moment where Noren had a huge advantage and he RC'd and everything, but because he was RCing, it was he sort of priced himself into having to go in. So Chappu was able to use FD just to push him back. The beautiful thing about defending in this game is that makes it so much fun. Is that you can push people away and like completely nullify their offense. Big dog, big bear. Oh my god, is that where the Ninja Dagger meme is from? That is where the Ninja Dagger meme is from. Chinger Changer, Ninja Dagger. We love Maximilian on this channel. And it is a Ninja Dagger, but if you want to be polite, you could call it the Kunai Super. Oh my god, you got tagged by a dust. And this is another cool thing about this game. In Strive, they sort of simplified it such that corner dusts, well, all corner combos lead to wall break, and then charge dusts lead to that launch state, which is a forced, it's kind of like a wall break. But in this one, see, Chipp's like ideal combo here is not actually like just raw damage, it's like him setting up the invisibility buff, or the John Cena mode. This is fucked up, by the way. What is he? He gets the dust combo, sets up invisibility, goes into a mix-up. Block this cross-up. Block this cross-up. Block this cross-up. Block this cross-up, dude. I both can and can't believe he sent Pile Bunker there. You should never be surprised by Slayer sending Pile Bunker. He always... like, why? Why not? He's my favorite Viking main. Only Viking main that had actually played the game. Understandable. True. Yes. Ooh. 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 Oh, I'll put him on... Oh, I love... See, as much as I fucking despise Slayer, I do think his combos are really cool in this game. Oh my god, you got chipped! You got chipped! With punish dust with Pile Bunker. So I don't know how they made this in Strive, but in this game, Dandy Step does actually have like a few frames of invincibility on it when you do it regularly. It's not a ton though. It's not really enough to go through anything because... Oh, okay, yeah, there we go. The Slayer special. I was wondering how long it'd be before we saw that. Let's go back and highlight this. Beautiful. Burst dead on time. Love to see it. If you've watched any Exerd from North America, you've probably seen Crocs and Socks, who plays this same color, try to optimize around burst dead on time. Because it is really nice to have a gigantic 0 frame hit that is just a shit ton of damage. It's also a version of Dead on Time that doesn't require you to BDC it if you want to use it as a reversal, which is pretty relevant. Oh god. Yeah, he bursts? Makes sense. You would actually get stunned off of that combo and die if you didn't burst, so makes sense. Dustloop says Dandy has no invul. Really? I could have sworn it had like a few frames of it. Hang on, let me verify this myself. No, it does. Invuln. P Dandy Step 1 to 3 strike invincible. K Dandy Step 1 to 6 strike invincible. Oh, in Strive. Oh yeah, in Strive it doesn't, because in Strive, right? Of course. Pardon me. I was yeah, sorry. The reason I mentioned it in context to this was that if you want the BTC it and have like lots of invincibility, it requires a non-trivial amount of execution. In Strive, they just gave him that like backdash attack that he can do, which is like homogenized all of the BDCs into one attack. Pardon me. I will try to have something insightful to say for this next game. Enough thinking about Strive and such. All right, cool. So it's 5-4 in favor of Noren. Yeah, and this is the cool Chipp combo. I love that 5H IAD combo. Like, it's so cool, and it actually requires Chipp to do, like, mid-screen mix. It's really nice. See, look at how much time we've spent outside the corner, and yet Chipp has been in control the entire game. Yeah. Makes sense you throw out the dust there. You know, if it hits, you win the round. If not, whatever. Although, you know, there's 50%, yes. Bait up, yes. Yes, kill him, bait up, like, yes. We combo off of DPs in this game. Yes. That was like a beautiful example of like how to combo off of jump in this game. Like Chipp got jump H, which is like a big beefy attack, but it pushes back so much you need to use like 5p and just go into sweep. And then you set up the mix, the blender. Oh no, he's doing the okay, he's cashing out for damage, makes sense. I think it makes sense given that Slayer has 50 meter and it'd be difficult to enforce a mix. Oh god. And that's another thing. So in Strive, Chipp only has one shuriken, but in this game he has two. It always alternates between the slow shuriken and the fast shuriken. But shuriken has landing recovery. So because Slayer went up and like tanked the shuriken with his face, he gets a punish here for free. And he's spending meter to go into dust. And the thing is, yeah, see, the combo actually waited out most of the RC penalty. So he gained meter like 1 or 2 seconds after ending the combo. So it pretty much sets up. So if your character has like long combos off of Art Rowan cancels, it's actually pretty nice because you get to ignore the sort of intentional penalty for doing Rowan cancels. Yeah, just staircasing back to the ground, IAD because he's blocking, send crosswise because he might get hit by it and die. Both of these characters very adept at moving around the screen. Yeah, and this is what happens when you try to block Slayer. He's gonna... Oh, he didn't bait the burst. I thought he might. Delay tech jump D. That's another beautiful thing I love is the tech mind games in this game. Because if you delay your tech long enough, the downward momentum from falling overwrites any upward momentum you have from your tech. So you get to do this really deep jump in out of tech with an invincible button. Alright, 6-4 for Noren. He seems to be finding his footing a little bit. What does round start look like? Teleport in place from Chipp. That is an interesting round start. I wonder what that beats. Might just be a timing thing. Represent something, but see what he does. Oh, see, that's really funny. Sorry, that's really cool to point out, actually. So Noren gets the knockdown here, right? Or, sorry, I guess the earth threat. And he actually mistimes the high-low mix. So he does whiff under pressure. And at this point, you are guessing between it's late, which is the overhead, and 2K, which is the low. But he actually mistimes 2K. And 2K only has like 2 active frames. So it's actually like fairly tough to time. So most of the time, Slayer wants to go for the overhead just because it's easier. But then he walks forward and he gets... Yeah. So either he didn't OS his throw because he gets close slash here, or he just did close slash. So either he didn't OS his throw, or the throw protection on Wake Up had not worn off yet, so Chipp was not throwable. Let's look at that whole thing in real time. Sick air throw, by the way. Yeah. Oh, and I didn't realize you got a combo off of 6k overhead against Chipp like that. Nice. Yeah, Slayer's mix becomes a lot more powerful if he can do like close range immediate 6k and still get a combo off of it. Against the bigger body characters or the characters who are taller when they're crouching, he can't necessarily do that. He has to time it, which makes the mix more telegraphed. Yeah, that was just a pure stagger. Oh, you're dead. You're actually dead. 6H. Yeah, you're dead, sorry. And that is one benefit of Slayer's combos. Because they're so short and they have a small number of hits, they don't build back much burst. He's sort of the opposite of Ramlethal in that sense. Eno, get her off the screen, please. I don't like looking at Eno. Reminds me of another horrible matchup. Okay, so it seems like Noren is becoming comfortable because he's pulled into a 3-game lead now. More importantly, Chappu's about to rank down. That's a horrible psychic disadvantage. What is the mix here? Turn invisible and then do an invisible grab. I like that. Regular throw, OTG. And you can see Chappu is doing a lot of like OTGs that are quote-unquote shitty for Oki. But the thing is, doing an OTG forces Slayer to have to time his BDC, his backdash cancel, with the OTG timing. And the OTG timing is entirely dependent on when you OTG'd him, because there's a bit of a window for you to hit him off the ground and then enforce that like faster OTG wake up. So that's like an old school thing where you'll make the input on the defender like intentionally harder, and that's your mix, is that you're running like shittier mix, but it's harder to interact with, so it's better. As Yamashigam said earlier, I can believe, and I also can't believe that he just did what that was BDC Dandy Pile Bunker in block string, or as a challenge option while blocking. Yeah, it makes sense. If I were Slayer, I'd do that too. Yeah, there's Gamma Blade. Yeah, and that's another thing about like the pace that air dashers are played at. So Chipp does jump H on the ground here, and I think he was like sort of preemptively doing the motion for alpha, so that either on hit or here on whiff, he just does alpha, and it works out. Because who the fuck knows what your opponent is going to be doing in the time it takes jump H to start up and hit. You can also see Chappu's approach to the matchup here, because he whiffs, what is it? He whiffs jump H, he whiffs far, and he's like, oh, bad thing's happening. I should just leave. And then he just air dashes back. There's a lot of like defensive movement like that in this matchup from Chipp's point of view. And you can see Noren is just sending shit, because he can just, yeah, just RC it, just go into super. Man, I forgot Chipp can Gatling 5k into itself. That's crazy. Oh, yeah. Noren tried to keep that burst safe, but it didn't quite work. Oh my. Yeah, and there's that tech buttons with jump D. Crazy good jump in. Yeah, and there's that jump install combo that Chipp has to do. Do you guys know how jump installing works? I'm curious as to whether that's like known technology or not. Yeah. And he gets a standard air combo there. Nothing too fancy. Oh my god, we're just doing shit on Wake Up. I will come back to that in a moment. Behind the back, I've never seen Eternal Wings hit there. That's crazy. We're just teleporting everywhere. Yeah, there's boom. That's a beautiful example. Look at this. This is a beautiful example of how crazy Slayer gets to be on Wake Up in this game. So Chipp did regular knockdown, no OTG, and that enabled Slayer to do Wake Up, backdash, cancel, bite, which is his command grab. Or sorry, no, that's pardon me. And then he YRCs. Does he YRC? No, he doesn't. But he ignores all of the active frames of Gamma Blade going on him. Just look at this. Look at that. It's crazy. Yeah, you're dead, Chipp. Sorry. What? Noren? What are you doing? Noren, what are you doing? Noren, just dial in burst dot. What are you doing? I hope you lose. Okay, never mind. Anyway, regarding jump installing. I think I've heard the term before, but I got no clue. I know the easy way. Okay, so Guilty Gear is a very old-fashioned game, and the way that it determines what air actions you have when you find yourself in an airborne state is very literal. So in the case of Chipp, if he just does teleport, which is 2-2H or 2-2 button, he will appear in the air, and the game will see that he left the ground because of teleport, and he will have no air actions. And this is sort of like intentionally like a balance mechanic, because if you get air dash or jump out of teleport, that'd be crazy. However, if you do a Gatling and then you jump cancel it, and then you overwrite the jump cancel with another Gatling, and then you special cancel that Gatling into a move that takes you airborne, like teleport, the game will see that you are in the air, and it'll look back to what you attempted, or like what it's supposed to do to give you air actions, and it'll see that you did a jump cancel, so therefore you must have become airborne by means of a jump, so therefore you'll have full air actions out of a teleport. So the input for something like that would be close, so like close S8, very quickly 2H, 5 2H H, which would be close slash jump cancel 2H overwriting it, and then you would do teleport, and you'd have full air actions out of teleport. Chipp does, anytime you see Chipp do like a 2H teleport and then do like an air combo with double jumps, that's only possible because he jump installed. What the fuck was this combo? Oh, just regular crosswise heal. Yeah, just meterless damage. Crosswise heal is crazy. It's so much taller than it looks, and it leads to shit like that. Oh my god, was that Dandy Step 5D? Oh, that's fucked up. Oh, that is so fucked up. That's the kind of mix that inflicts psychic damage because you feel stupid for getting hit by it. Why wasn't I fuzzy jumping? Yeah, and you can't kill Slayer here because he's got high guts, so you just have to content yourself with a knockdown. Same side low. Yeah, there it was. There was a jump cancel, or a jump install, I'll show you. So it's 5P, and he inputs up here, Gatling into 2H, into H teleport, and he does jump cancel, jump S, jump cancel, jump S, jump cancel, jump S. And he could only do those 2 jump cancels with his double jump and triple jump because he jump installed. And it's a little awkward in this matchup because just cashing out damage and then going back to neutral against Slayer kind of sucks. You thought you could whiff punish me, but I had 50 meter. I got to PRC and be a total scrub. Nice. Nice. I love the RC system in this game, but PRCs are definitely a scrub mechanic. Well, I'm happy that I'm coming across to you guys well, because the test recordings that I've done with NVIDIA Broadcast are, well, I don't even want to say it, but they had a lot of like issues with audio and stuff. But I did some very short test streams just before I started, and it's much better than I thought it would be, which is good because it makes it a lot easier for me because I don't have to worry about compressors or stuff as much. Both characters just turning invisible for Oki. Oh, hey, fun fact. Chipp's teleport like that works differently from Slayer's teleport dash. One of them is affected by Raven's slowdown from the needle, and one of them is not. Oh, that was weird. Sorry, hang on. Oh, he burst. Sorry. I just want to see what happened in this mix. So he does jump H, gets blitzed, and because Chipp is close to the corner, he gets blitzed into the corner, and then Slayer does 5H, and Chipp falls outside of him, meaning 5H whiffs, and Chipp gets a close slash punish, but he doesn't combo. Ah, I love Guilty Gear. Yeah, URC here. Yeah, just pile bunker. Okay. Oh, nice anti-air with close slash, and he can't quite kill here, I don't think. No, so he has to just take the knockdown and run. Oh, he goes for the triple overhead, but Chap blocks it. Oh god, yeah, the it's late counter, or the under pressure. No, the it's late counter hit. The move that's throw invincible and really encourages you to throw it. Oh, he tried to burst. That's a fun thing about this game. If your burst gets locked out by like a super like this, by like a cutscene, you can see it's orange, and then it flashes red here. That's because Chappu was trying to burst, because he knew that combo was going to happen to him, and he wanted to have health left. Weird corner shenanigans again. Ooh. Do a Gatling that's not a true block string, YRC the move, and then do a command grab. Man. The pressure in this game is so nuanced. There's like, it's so open-ended, there's so much cool stuff you can do. And like, not all of it is literally just big combo, knockdown, wall splat, wall break, so therefore it's allowed to be good. Look at how fucking... Oh man, the movement is so cool. You can tell I really like this game because Slayer's on the screen and I'm having positive emotions. Yeah, crosswise, 5H, yep. You got a full combo corner here? No, he does, he just does the short version. Probably because he didn't want to give Chappu his burst? Sorry, hang on, that was a hitch in the stream, that was not me. What happens here? Chappu does... Yeah, okay, so he just does H teleport. The old problem solver, H teleport. I like Slayer until I have to play him. Yeah, I feel the same way. I see Slayer on the screen and I think, damn, this character is so cool, and then I try to do literally any mix on him and I think, damn, this character is so cancer. And it's funny because Raven actually has pretty decent mix on Slayer, because all of Raven's mix is either Glide, which is airborne, which ignores BDC Bite, or I can meet him with Jump K, which ignores Wake Up 6B, and I can meet him with Orb, which is like very active, but against a Slayer who has absolutely refused to do anything other than BDC, you still have to guess on your own mix, on your own pressure a little bit, which sucks. Oh yeah, chase down the teleport, I like that. Oh, this... Oh, it goes through? Okay, yeah, PRC or Invincible Super and just be airborne above him. Cool, cool. I'm talking some trash about PRC, but I think it's fine, actually. Like, the premise of the game is that you can roam and cancel at any time, and it should be good, and I think it generally succeeds at that. Oh, okay. Oh, I thought that might have been unsafe on instant block, but I guess not. Yeah, teleport in place, then H teleport. Oh, 6p to whiff punish? So Chipp did the slow shuriken there, which means the next time he does shuriken, it'll be fast. But never mind, he's dead, sorry. It's a common thing you'll see with Chipp, is that if he has a moment in neutral, he'll try to either set up the invisibility mode, or he'll intentionally set up the slow shuriken so that the next time he has shuriken, it's like that, it's fast. Thank you, Chappu, that's exactly what I was trying to show off. I should also point out that Chappu's defense has been pretty... Oh, sorry, you're actually dead, the round's over. Has been pretty good most of the time. No. No. I just had to say it, didn't I? Alright, let's look at that. That was a beautiful Slayer round. What happens here? So it's pretty even here. And then Chappu makes the mistake of, I think, blocking Slayer's moves. He blocks like a couple of jump ins, he FDs a little bit. Yeah, you block 5H and jump D. And then he does something very brave, which is try to microdash up. He does FD break here, and that looks like 6p. I think he was trying to do 6ph throw option select. And that's, or maybe just regular 5h, I don't know. No, I think that's regular 5h. I think he was not OSing his throw because he wanted a back throw, and you can only OS throws forward. Which means that because Slayer was just doing stuff, basically, the timing did not work out. He was only a few frames off, though. Like, I think he can almost throw Slayer out here. I think it was just a distance thing. Because this is the first frame of Chipp going of whiffing his throw. I think it was just a distance thing, because Slayer's further back than he looks here. Anyway, the combo that happens is that he trades with it's late, or sorry, under pressure, and then he tries to fuzzy jump out, which makes sense. He doesn't FD, which means he gets tagged by this. Oh no. Oh no. And this is something I talked about in the combo difficulty tier list. Slayer's combos are actually like pretty stable if he's got you near the corner. So even though he spends a lot of time RPSing and flailing around in neutral, it's more stable than you would think for him to convert into big damage and knockdowns. Alright, so now Noren is 9 games up in the set, and it's up for Chappu to make some kind of pretty big play to overcome this. I have a feeling he might not be able to. I think it's less mental stack for... I think it's easier for Slayer to play long sets like this, because he can... It's kind of on him to do stuff, and it's on Chipp to avoid dying. And I think that playing as the character who has to avoid dying in the long run is more mentally taxing. That's how I feel playing Raven, because Raven is usually the character who avoids dying in most matchups. Oh yeah, crosswise counter hit. You have to burst here, right? No, it just takes the damage. Oh yeah. Chipp's also a very high APM character, which means that playing him for long periods of time can be physically demanding as well. I love Guilty Gear. I love... This is Chipp doing far slash, and it goes past him. Yeah. And then Chipp... So they're not... It's not actually that Slayer's going through him with a dandy step, because you can't. He's not intangible. It's just that Chipp steps so far forward, his hurt box shifts forward a lot when he does far slash, but his collision point is still like on his back foot. So then Slayer does under pressure, and it hits like the back of Chipp's heel here, and then that snaps him back because that's where he actually was. I hope that's coming through on the stream all right. Oh, I love that. See, this is what I'm talking about with Noren just being a vibe slayer. Sorry, one last thing. So he gets the mix here. He does YRC, gets Bloodsucking Universe Command Grab. Okay, maybe 5k wouldn't have reached here, so maybe this is the ideal combo, but the thing is, he can just do like 2k Mappa, and I'm 9% sure that combos. I don't think he has to do 2k Dandy Step and then like continue to RPS there. I guess he's fine with it because he has this kind of life lead as Slayer. But the Chipp Vortex, yeah, the Chipp Vortex. Oh my god, he missed. Oh my god, the Chipp Vortex, kill him, kill him. Kill him, yes. Yes. Yes, Noren, finish your food. This is what happens to you. Let's go, Chappu. Or Chap. Well, it's Chappu. That's what I've always seen written. I guess I should ask this now, because this game might be ending soon. After this, does anybody want to run like a custom lobby for like 20 minutes or something? Like just run some sets? Play a little first to 5 or something? Or maybe just a first to 3. Oh, that same thing happened. He blitzed and he did 5H, but it went the wrong way. You know, I often wonder what the source of Chipp's corner weirdness was. And when this game had its God mod package added like a year ago, I was able to look at some of the numbers in training mode, and I realized that when Chipp is wall clinging, his number value for like his distance is like literally 1 decimal point greater than the maximum distance that you can be, which is why he's considered to be closer to corner than you are, even though he's still within the bounds of the stage. I would, but I need to get my computer in order. I can barely play pixel games. Ah, that's a shame. We could run +R. That game is generally pretty toaster friendly. Yeah, well, if there's anybody out there who wants to play Exert or +R after we finish this, then speak up now, because if not, then I'll probably just end the stream. Nice air throw. That's funny to me, because like this is like when Exert was new, I wasn't around for it, but that like thing where you slow down time and you get the air throw was considered to be like a super duper scrubby like modern fighting game thing, where it's like you commit and you're wrong, and you spend meter, and it's just right, and just right anyway. You're just correct. And people hated that. But now, like, it's pretty cool. People have sort of come around on it. It's definitely one of the least fucked up things you can do with YRCs in this game. Double cross up, uncross up, cross up. Oh Christ. The first danger time. Oh yeah, he went for 6k. Fuck you. How dare you. Yeah, and Chipp just doing some combos that put Slayer far away. Combo, yeah, okay, throw, yeah, cool, good. That's a success for Chipp. He navigated danger time and he lived. Oh, look at that alpha. Look at that alpha YRC. That's fuck. I love this game. I love that the most powerful system mechanic is a modifier for stuff. Look, he does alpha here. And then and that puts him slightly off the ground, so he YRCs. And then it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 frames that 8 frames, and he crosses the stage. And then he lands, and he does 2k. And you, the dumbass that you were, probably expected an overhead because he was in the air and flinging himself towards you, but obviously it was an empty low. Oh my god. The game is... Well, Chappu's been doing a good job running it back. Yeah, and you like that's another thing about Chipp. You do get like knockdowns in surprising ways because he got Alpha Plus just a moment ago, and that knocks down. Oh yeah, but it wasn't a counter hit. Yeah, air to air, and the combo with a DP. Yep. That's another little nuance that doesn't exist in Strive, sadly. Because in Strive, all air hits lead to knockdowns, so it's not possible for a move to be safe on hit, but not give you control. Oh, counter hit? Yeah, gamma trade. No, not even gamma trade, just gamma counter. Oh my god, that was so scary. Oh no. Yeah, you're dead unless you burst here, but he does? Wow, that was definitely a hero burst. Oh, reset. Yeah. Just become invisible. Wow. Wow. Wow, Chappu really digging deep here. That was a really, really cool way to set up the double jump so that the jump H hit and it was very hard to anti-air. See, if Noren had been frostier with his air throw, I think that would have worked, but he was relying too much on Slayer's ground anti-airs throughout the set. I love Yamashigam. I love complicated interactions with system mechanics. They can be kind of fucked up, though. Definitely. But the thing that I enjoy about this game is that there are balancing acts in place for basically almost every system mechanic and every character mechanic. There are definitely some exceptions, but generally you can see that there's some kind of balancing factor, like damage scaling or something. And I think a surprising thing about a lot of modern fighting games is that they lack... It seems like they put so much effort into making sure that things just work properly that they sometimes forget or like they don't consider seemingly obvious ripple effects. I'm thinking of Street Fighter 6 here, but you know, Strive is another example of that. Anyway, it's Noren's set point. He has to win this round, and then that's it. BDC Mappa, you're invisible. I'm invincible. Oh, that was... Oh, fucking crap. That's another weird goddamn thing. Okay. So, one of the reasons why Gamma Blade is so... Okay, so one thing about Gamma Blade, it's one of, like, 3 special moves in the game that cannot be special canceled into. The others are, like, Fafnir and Wild Throw. I think just those 3 moves. And Chipp tries to do Gamma YRC here, and he actually gets a counter hit out of his YRC. However, because of the way Gamma works, the projectile is totally independent of Chipp, so it just goes out the max distance and then comes back. This is also why it's always plus, because they make it so that it inflicts enough block stun to be +5 no matter how long it hits. So he does it here, and if Slayer... Yeah, okay, if Slayer done something weird... I think the hit stop of 2K saved Slayer there, but I think if he'd done something that extended his hurt box, it might have been possible for him to get hit by Gamma Blade on the backside of Chipp, which would have been very weird. Double cross-up? Yeah, I don't think Noren has done a single cross-up delay with that mix in any of the times he's done it. Yeah, instant block but no punish. God, this is so scary as Chipp, because Slayer is just throwing shit out, and you have to be afraid of all of it. Because he's gonna have... Yeah. Yeah, and you just kind of have to sit still because you don't have a lot of meter. Never mind, you're dead. Never mind, you're dead. Let me go back and cover the last 20 seconds of this game. So, Chappu decides to burst, and I think at this point, his mindset is what leads to his downfall, because you can see he's got no meter and he's got no burst, and he's very aware of that, so he does jump forward, backdash, which is just like a very simple movement pattern that doesn't commit him to anything. but it also means that he doesn't build any meter because he's not moving forward and he's backdashing, so his impulse is going down. Meanwhile, Noren is just free to throw stuff out. He can just, well, he wire seed, but he would be building a lot of meter if he hadn't. And even then, he's still got more than enough to wire seed. And now he's back to building normal meter, which means that all of this pressure is informed by the fact that any hit from Noren is an easy red Roman cancel into death, like this. So I think Chappu fumbled a little bit at the end there. He saw that he had bursted, and he had no meter, and I think that the burst had been a bit of an instinct. So he sort of mentally shifted gears way too much to be too passive, and that let Noren run the ideal mix, the ideal pressure. Well, the video actually ended. It didn't have like 5 minutes of dead air on the end. That's crazy. Okay, well, thank you very much for joining me. It was great to have you all here. I was really happy to have 7 concurrent viewers. The stream did numbers. I had 7 viewers. And I have apparently 5 at the end now. And I think most of you stuck around for a pretty long time, so that was really good. Yeah, I don't think anybody is going to run... Yeah, nobody's interested in running the lobby, so I won't do that. So I will just bid you fellas adieu. And... yeah, and again, thank you for watching. Channel housekeeping stuff. I have a couple of commitments in both real life and like hobby creative stuff that have nothing to do with this channel. Those are interfering a little bit with my amount of free time, but that's mostly just a problem on my part, not scheduling things. I've scheduled things and organized my time a little bit better now, so it'll be fine. It'll work out. I should have the Rivals... I'm going to have the Rivals 2 video done by the end of September, period. Hopefully I can have it done by next week, and then next week's stream can be the premiere. We can have like a watch party for it. But if that doesn't happen, which would be the 20th, it'll be the 27th. I'm going to try to have that be either the 20th or the 27th. If not those, then maybe the 4th, but I want to have it be done in September. Aside from that, I have been enjoying Silksong a lot. I probably won't stream myself playing Silksong just because, like, who cares about me playing Silksong? But yeah, that game is really fun. You should play it. Yeah, so this... oh, and I should say one final thing. This is the 3rd... yeah, so I have 2 more videos to watch. One of them is... May versus Ramlethal, 1st to 10, and the other is Chipp versus Bedman, 1st to 10, and they're both pretty hefty. They're both like 50 minutes and 45 minutes. If you have any particular sets that you want me to review, feel free to submit them on one of my community posts or in the comments here. I will add them, I'll download them and I'll add them to the docket, and we'll be able to go through them and we'll be able to have something to talk about. Ultimate Fighting Arena is happening this weekend. I'll look at the top 8 for that and see if there's anything interesting. Also, if there are, as usual, if there are any particular interactions or just questions you want to ask, feel free to ask them in a comment or in a live stream or in a comment on a channel post, and I'll be happy to answer them. I love getting interaction with you guys, and I love talking to you about this game because it's nice to know that there's still people who are coming into the game fairly new and are experiencing the same optimistic view that I had when I came into this game back when I was 2017. It was 8 years ago. I was in my early 20s. Now I'm a crusty old 30-year-old man. Times change. It's nice to know that there are still people who care. But that'll be it for this stream. Thank you, everybody. It was great to have you, and I'll see you next week. Bye.